Creating culture. Creating culture is very important. I didn't even realize I was creating culture in my classroom. I guess deep down I knew that it was culture, but I never used that terminology before. I call my culture that I implement in my classroom a school family. And when I build that school family, I'm building culture. Within my district and specifically within my building of Gladden Elementary, we create culture and we really build on the connections that we make with each other to enhance the culture that we built in our building. It's very, very positive, and I love walking into my building every day and being greeted from coworkers and just feeling that unity and that positivity that we have, and knowing that I can rely on each other, rely on everyone, and they can rely on me. Relying on each other is a very important piece, I believe, in creating culture and just feeling safe and connected. The same culture that I create in my classroom, that culture is created in my building. And you can see that when you walk in our walls. Here are some examples of how we implement culture within our school family. We do a reading night and a math night where families come in. We have so much family involvement, and you can see we open our classrooms up and teachers are working and interacting with families and our students. We have themed dress up days where we work on implementing positive attendance, and we theme those. Of course, there's spirit weeks too that coincide with the high school, but within our own building we have worked on themed weeks to enhance attendance and increase that attendance, especially after long breaks. And this is one of the pictures that you see with Mrs. Tappy and her class in their Western wear. We invite outside community members in and theme them with our units that we're working on. Here is Cat in the Hat came to visit with Dr. Seuss. We work hand in hand with our PTA to enhance our culture and build that school home connection with families, where we have a muffins for moms and a donuts with dads. This is actually one of my little students, Jason and his family. So what I love, like I said, most about my building and the culture that we've created is just the unity and the safeness of it. We know everyone has a job. So just like in my classroom, going off the conscious discipline model, everyone in our building has a job. We have a team. Those jobs rotate every month. So when we get together for our staff meetings or our PD days, everyone knows their job. There may be a greeters that day, and the greeters stand outside the library where we meet and they greet everyone. There's a well-wishers or a celebration team. So everybody has a job. We know what to expect. The routine's the same. We know to rely on each other. We take care of each other. So everyone has a job. Those jobs are lined out for us, and we know what to do for those jobs. So we know what's coming next. That routine and implementation is very important. Again, everyone feels safe. Here is a picture of me and my co-kindergarten teacher, another kindergarten teacher they have, dressed up for our Grinch Day. I mean, who dresses at school like that if you don't feel safe? Again, there's another picture. This is Miss Rowan. I mean, interacting at our school carnival, and she's putting a snake. We had a reptile guy come, and she's putting a snake around her neck. She was terrified, but she did it because she felt safe. Everyone has a voice. We collaborate and we communicate together. If we have questions, I know there are several people I can go ask for help, especially those technology questions. I have a list that I can go run to and help, and they're always willing to help, even if I just shoot them an email because I can't get out of my classroom. We work together as a team, or rather a family. And we got this mentality. We're always saying this, you got this, we got this, you can do it. Positivity. I think that is the underlying part of our culture that we have within our building, that family, is that we are positive and we rely on each other. Growing our culture further, there's one thing I think that we could work on, is limiting our character ed assemblies. I don't really feel like they're very meaningful. I feel like there's a disconnect there, and this is something that we've talked about within those teams. There's no connection. They're kind of boring. They're boring for me. I know they're boring for students. So maybe more collaborative during these character ed assemblies. Maybe we have breakouts and we interact more in small groups that are teacher-led, or maybe even community member-led. And this is where we're going. I'm on a leadership team for conscious discipline and social emotional health, and we're shifting towards smaller school families to create that culture within our building, and we're relying on community members to come in and help us because we are such a big population and limited teachers. So within those small school families, we can address our character ed issues, which would make it more meaningful, more interactive, more collaborative for our students. And again, we're going to create that routine and that culture, and they will be integrated from kindergarten to 4th grade. So I will be, if there's a team that I was on, I'd be interacting with more students than just the owner of my building, building those connections. So those kids have somebody else to go to, somebody else to feel safe to talk to, aside from just their teacher. Again, building that connection. Do you see a trend here? Connection, connection, connection. A hope that I have with blended learning is I think it'd be great to have a teacher flip professional development day, implementing a blended learning model for PD days, viewing content and new programs prior to these PD days. So maybe one day a month during a plan to look at the content. So if we know that on Monday or Tuesday we have a PD day, usually they're Mondays or Fridays, but let's say that Friday we have a PD day. Thursday during our plan, or even Wednesday, during our plan, we look at the content that's going to be addressed during those professional development days. Our principal always provides us with an outline, but why not go a little bit deeper so we can look at the stuff that we're going to be talking about and learning about and growing professionally with. And we can come to those professional development days with thoughts already in our mind and questions already available. And it would make the facilitation of our principal or the leader that day more meaningful too, because they'd be able to answer our questions. We'll get more done, I think. So that's my idea, is a teacher flip professional development day.